Welcome to this IELTS Listening Practice Test, brought to you by Spinta, your partner in English exam success. This test simulates the real IELTS listening experience with authentic question types, timing, and difficulty levels you'll encounter on exam day. You'll hear the audio only once, just like in the actual test, so stay focused and keep your pencil ready. Remember to read the questions carefully during the preparation time and transfer your answers accurately. This practice will help you build confidence, improve your listening skills, and familiarize yourself with the IELTS format.
Part 1. Now look at Part 1. You will hear a man telephoning a tour company to book a guided walking tour. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning. Cityscape Tours. Sarah speaking. How can I help you today?
Good morning. I'm interested in booking a guided walking tour of the city. I saw an advertisement, and it looked quite appealing.
Oh, wonderful. We have several popular tours. Do you have a particular one in mind? Or perhaps a specific interest?
Yes, I was looking at the one that focuses on the older part of the city. I think it was called something like the Historic Old Town Tour. Is that one you offer?
Ah, yes. The Historic Old Town Tour is one of our most popular. It's an excellent choice. When were you thinking of taking the tour?
We're planning to be in the city next month, in July. Would sometime mid-July be possible? Perhaps around the 15th?
Let me check availability for July 15th. Yes, we do have spaces on that day. And how many people would that be for?
Just for 2 adults, please. Myself and my wife.
Perfect. 2 adults for the Historic Old Town Tour on July 15th. Can I take a name to the booking, please?
Certainly. The name is Chen.
Chen. Is that C-H-E-N?
Yes, that's correct.
Great, Mr. Chen. And a contact phone number?
Yes, it's 077-009-00345.
So that's 077-009-00345. Thank you. Now, just to make sure this is the right tour for you, what aspects of the city's history are you most interested in? The tour covers quite a bit, from architectural styles to important events.
Well, architecture is interesting, of course, and I do enjoy a good local legend, but I think my main interest is in how people lived. You know, the social history, the day-to-day lives of ordinary people through different periods.
Then this tour is definitely for you. Our guides are particularly passionate about bringing the social history of the Old Town to life. It's not just dates and buildings. Now, the tour itself, it usually lasts about 2 hours, give or take a few minutes depending on the group's pace and questions.
2 hours sounds good. Not too long, not too short.
Exactly. And regarding payment, to secure your booking in advance, we do ask for payment to be made online via our secure website. We'll send you a link once we confirm the details. Is that all right?
Yes, online payment is perfectly fine. That's very convenient.
Excellent. Now, a few more practical details. The meeting point for the tour is by the old fountain, which is just off the main square. It's quite easy to find.
The main square, I think I know where that is from the city map I've seen. Near the large clock tower?
Precisely. And to help you navigate during and after the tour, we provide each participant with a digital map, accessible on your smartphone, highlighting key points of interest and some of our guides' favorite local spots.
A digital map. That's very modern and useful, saves carrying paper around.
It is. And finally, a small piece of advice. The old town has many cobbled streets, which are beautiful, but can be a little uneven. So we always recommend wearing comfortable shoes for the walk.
Ah, good tip. Comfortable shoes it is. My wife will be pleased to hear that. She always insists on it.
A wise policy. So I'll just confirm those details for you.
Part 2. Now look at Part 2. You will hear a local council representative, David Miller, giving a radio announcement about a new community recycling initiative. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to Community Matters. I'm David Miller from your local council, and today I'm excited to talk about our new recycling initiative, which we believe will make a significant difference to our town's environment. We've listened to your feedback, and we've revamped our services to make recycling easier and more effective for everyone. Let's start with what goes where and when. For paper and cardboard, your collection day will be Monday. Please ensure all items are clean and dry, as contaminated materials can't be processed. That's a key point. Clean and dry for all paper items. Moving on to plastics, these will now be collected on Wednesday. We're currently able to accept Type 1 and Type 2 plastics. Check the number in the little triangle on the item. We're working on expanding this, but for now it's just Types 1 and 2. Glass, which includes bottles and jars, will also be collected on Wednesday, same day as plastics. If you can, please try to separate your glass into different colors: clear, green, and brown. It really helps with the recycling process, though it's not compulsory. Finally, food waste. This is a big one for us, as it significantly reduces what goes to landfill. Your food waste will be collected every Friday. Please use the special small green caddy that will be delivered to your household for this purpose. These caddies are designed to keep odors contained and make it easy to transfer waste to your larger green bin if you have one. We're also launching a new app to help you keep track of all this. It's called Recycle Smart. That's RECYCLESMART. The Recycle Smart app will have collection day reminders, a searchable guide of what can and can't be recycled, and tips for reducing waste. It's free to download for both Apple and Android devices. We understand that sometimes you might need extra recycling bags, especially when you're having a clear-out. Additional bags can be collected free of charge from the main council offices during opening hours. Just pop into reception. Our primary aim with this whole initiative is simple: to reduce landfill. We want to divert as much waste as possible away from landfill sites, which are costly and environmentally damaging. Every item you recycle contributes to this goal. To make things a little more engaging, we're introducing a friendly competition. The council is offering a prize, a new bench for a local park chosen by the residents, for the street that achieves the highest participation rate in the new scheme over the first 3 months. So encourage your neighbors. We'll be sending out detailed information leaflets to every household. These will come through your door via post in the next week or so, outlining all the changes, collection schedules, and tips. So do look out for that. The new scheme, with all these updated collections and services, will officially start on the 1st of September. This gives everyone time to receive their leaflets, download the app, and get their new food waste caddies. We're confident that with your help, we can make our town a greener, cleaner place to live. Thank you for listening, and please do visit the Council website if you have any further questions.
Part 3. Now look at Part 3. You will hear two university students, Priya and Ben, discussing their joint research project on the impact of social media on young people with their tutor, Dr. Ramirez. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Hi Priya, hi Ben, thanks for coming in. How's the planning for your joint research project on social media coming along?
Hi, Dr. Ramirez. It's going okay, I think. We've had a few meetings and we're starting to get a clearer idea.
Yes, it's a broad topic, so we're trying to narrow it down. Priya, you were looking at a specific angle, weren't you?
That's right. I'm particularly interested in the mental health implications of social media use among adolescents. Things like anxiety, self-esteem, that sort of thing. There's a lot of discussion about it, but I want to see what current research really says and perhaps gather some primary data.
That's a very relevant area, Priya. And Ben, what about your focus? How will you complement Priya's work?
Well, while Priya is looking at the effects, I was thinking of exploring how young people actually use social media for identity formation and social connection. For data collection, I was leaning towards using focus groups. I think they would allow for more in-depth discussion compared to, say, online surveys, which can be a bit superficial for this kind of topic.
Focus groups can be very rich, Ben. Good choice. One thing I'd advise both of you on is the scope. Social media is vast, and, quote, young people is a wide demographic. For instance, Priya, with mental health, are you thinking early teens, late teens, or university students? The pressures can be quite different. I'd suggest you try to narrow your age range of participants. It will make your research more focused and manageable.
That's a good point. We were thinking perhaps 16 to 18-year-olds. That transition period before university or full-time work.
That sounds more defined. And what challenges do you foresee? Every research project has them.
For me, with focus groups, I think the main challenge will be recruiting enough participants who fit our criteria and are willing to talk openly. Getting a diverse sample within that 16 to 18 age group might be tricky. Ethical approval is always a process, but recruitment seems like the bigger hurdle right now.
I agree. And ensuring anonymity for sensitive topics like mental health.
Yes, recruitment and ethical considerations are paramount, especially with minors. So, what's your timeline? When are you hoping to have a first draft of your research proposal ready?
We're aiming for about 4 weeks from now. Does that sound realistic? That would give us time to refine our research questions and methodology.
4 weeks for a solid proposal is achievable if you work consistently. Okay, let's talk about specific tasks for this next phase. How are you dividing the workload for the proposal itself?
Well, since Ben is doing the focus groups, it makes sense for him to take the lead on designing the interview questions for those.
Yes, I can do that. And Priya, you mentioned looking into existing questionnaires for your mental health aspect. So you could probably research existing survey instruments that we might adapt or draw inspiration from.
Exactly. And I can also start on the literature review section that covers current social media trends and their documented impact on youth, particularly the mental health side of things. That aligns with my focus.
Good. And Ben, once you have the data from the focus groups, You'll be primarily responsible for the qualitative data analysis, I presume?
Yes, that's the plan. Thematic analysis, most likely. It's something I have some experience with from a previous module.
And then, when it comes to the overall ethics application, which is crucial, I think that's something we should definitely work on together to make sure we've covered all bases from both our research angles.
Agreed. Preparing the final research ethics application should be a joint effort.
That sounds like a sensible division of labor. Make sure you book another meeting with me once you have a preliminary draft of your proposal and especially your ethics form. I can provide feedback before official submission. So, to recap.
Part 4. Now look at Part 4. You will hear a lecture by Dr. Anya Sharma, a marine biologist, on the topic of bioluminescence in deep-sea creatures. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into one of the ocean's most fascinating phenomena, bioluminescence. This is the ability of living organisms to produce and emit light. It's not a reflection of light, but rather a chemical process that generates its own light, often described as cold light because very little thermal radiation is produced. Imagine the pitch-black environment of the deep sea, hundreds or even thousands of meters below the surface, where sunlight cannot penetrate. In this realm of perpetual darkness, light is a precious commodity, and a surprising number of creatures have evolved the ability to make their own. In fact, current estimates suggest that over 75% of all deep-sea organisms are bioluminescent in some form. This ranges from bacteria and fungi to fish, squid, and jellies. So why is it so common? Well, bioluminescence serves a variety of crucial ecological functions. One of the most widespread uses is for communication. This can be for attracting mates, with intricate light patterns unique to species, or for luring unsuspecting prey towards a glowing bait, like the infamous anglerfish. Another critical function is defense. Some creatures use a sudden flash of light to startle an approaching predator, giving them a chance to escape. This is sometimes referred to as the flashbulb effect. Others employ a more sophisticated strategy known as the, quote, burglar alarm theory. When attacked by a smaller predator, the prey animal lights up, not to scare that predator, but to attract an even larger predator that will then attack its attacker. It's a risky but effective defense mechanism. The chemistry behind this living light is remarkably consistent across diverse organisms. It generally involves a light-emitting pigment called luciferin and an enzyme, luciferase. The luciferin reacts with oxygen, catalyzed by luciferase to produce light. The specific type of luciferin and luciferase can vary, leading to different colors and intensities of light. But the fundamental principle of this reaction with oxygen is a common thread. One of the most ingenious uses of bioluminescence is for camouflage, specifically a technique called counter-illumination. Many deep-sea animals that live in the twilight zone, where a tiny amount of sunlight still filters down, use bioluminescent organs on their undersides. They adjust the intensity of this light to match the faint sunlight coming from above. This effectively eliminates their silhouette, making them invisible to predators looking up from below. It's an incredible example of natural selection at work. The enzyme luciferase is, as I mentioned, crucial in catalyzing this reaction. Its efficiency is remarkable, converting chemical energy into light with minimal heat loss. The sudden, bright flash used to startle predators, as I mentioned, is often called the flashbulb effect, a very descriptive term for its startling impact. Many organisms don't produce light themselves, but host bioluminescent bacteria in specialized light organs. This is a form of symbiosis, where both the host and the bacteria benefit. The host provides a safe environment and nutrients for the bacteria, and in return, the bacteria provide a continuous source of light, which the host can often control using shutters or other mechanisms. The potential applications of understanding bioluminescence are vast. Beyond its ecological significance, research into these natural light systems is inspiring innovations in various fields. For instance, the genes for luciferase are widely used in genetic engineering as reporter genes, allowing scientists to track gene expression. Furthermore, the principles of efficient light production are being studied for developing new medical imaging techniques and even more efficient lighting technologies. The deep sea still holds many mysteries, and bioluminescence is one of its most captivating secrets, offering insights into evolution, ecology, and potentially new technologies for our own use. Our ongoing research continues to unveil new species and new mechanisms, highlighting the incredible biodiversity and ingenuity of life in extreme environments. Thank you.
And pencils down. You've survived another IELTS listening marathon. If your brain feels like it just ran a mental obstacle course, congratulations. That means you're doing it right. Want to torture yourself with more tests? We mean enhance your skills? Head to Spinta.org. That's SPINTA.org, where we've got reading, writing, speaking practice, and vocabulary games that are actually fun. Yes, fun and IELTS in the same sentence. We're rebels like that. Thanks for listening with Spinta. Now go treat yourself to something nice. You've earned it. Spinta, push forward, achieve more.